Good evening, everyone. Virgotriad here. It is April 17th, 2019, and I wanted to take a few minutes of your time to talk to you guys about a couple of things. Now, you guys know me well enough after the last couple of years of watching my videos, especially the subscribers that have been watching me for that length of time, to know what really seriously gets under my skin. Lies get under my skin. Fraud gets under my skin. Projection and ugliness gets under my skin. And one of those things is the lies that are told with regards to the right to travel by the sovereign citizen movement and the Moorish and those that are anti-government groups like them. The right to travel in a motor vehicle, as they proclaim it to be, simply does not exist. They cherry pick cases, sometimes not even within the motor vehicle code, not even within the Constitution as they claim, not even within case law that has anything to do with actually traveling in a motor vehicle or a conveyance or anything of that sort. They have actually cherry picked while debating me in the tax code. I mean, it becomes a ridiculous type of scenario. And the funniest part about it is when you're actually debating them and you're getting somewhere and they don't know what to do because they're getting backed into a corner. They'll make these claims about statutes and codes not actually being laws. And when you point out that statutes and codes, by their very definition, in any law dictionary, including Black's, that they want to point out, by their very definition, statutes and codes are law. Then they get really, really mad and they start arguing with you about it. And they start to throw back at you the reasons why they're able to actually have this right. And they start throwing back at you statutes and codes. It's hilarious. I mean, statutes and codes are not laws, except for when they want to use them as laws. It's absolutely ridiculous. Okay, so you guys know this is like a big deal for me. I really, really hate this argument. It is really stupid. The idea that these narcissistic assholes can actually get away with making these claims and making other people believe them and buy into their bullshit crap that they sell online, like their fake driver's licenses and their fake vehicle registrations and their fake paperwork and their fake license plate holders and license plates. Fake, fraud. That's all they are. That's all that comes out of their websites. You know, for a long time, these Moors were selling these Moorish cards from the Moorish temple, science temple, supposedly, that were $50 and $75. And then guess what? I call down to the actual Moorish temple and find out they're 25 cents. They're 25 cents. But see, these are not real Moors. These are assholes that are con artists and criminals pretending to be Moors. I'm not just angry with the Moors. I'm angry with every single one of these fucked up movements that actually believes that people are so stupid that they can't actually see the facts. I pulled this case because this is a real case about right to travel. This is an important case. It's a Supreme Court case. And this is really what the right to travel is about. Callender versus Lawson from 1983. I'm going to link this in the description below this video so that you guys can actually take a look at it. But I'm going to kind of let you know what this case is about. So, the syllabus to this case reads that a California statute requires persons who loiter or wander on the streets to identify themselves and to account for their presence when requested by peace officers. The California Court of Appeal has construed the statute to require a person to provide credible and reliable identification when requested by a police officer who has reasonable suspicion of criminal activity sufficient to justify a stop under the standards of Terry v. Ohio 392 U.S. 1. The California court has defined credible and reliable identification as carrying responsible assurance that the identification is authentic and providing means for later getting in touch with the person who has identified himself. This man who was arrested and convicted under the statute brought an action in federal district court challenging the statute's constitutionality. The district court held the statute unconstitutional and enjoined its enforcement, and the Court of Appeals affirmed. You're able to read the entire case, or you can just go through the syllabus, but the gist of it is this. There was a man that was arrested because on a daily basis he was walking through a white neighborhood for his own personal needs. It wasn't to rob anybody. It wasn't to scare anybody. It just happened to be a neighborhood that was predominantly white, and as a result, he was being harassed. Finally, at some point, the police officer arrested him. And then, apparently, the district attorney, the state, decided to charge him. But this gentleman was able to use his constitutional right to travel in order to fight the charges. And he won. The true meaning of your constitutional right to travel. This is an example of it. This is a case that was actually won based around the fact that you have a constitutional right to travel. These con artists like to run around talking about how there are a ton of cases that show that there's a right to travel. 99.9% of these cases, and I have gone through so many of them, and I would say in the upward 100s of these cases, have absolutely nothing to do with even domestic traveling. Have to do more with international traveling. They cherry pick the hell out of everything. And they're so arrogant in their ignorance. They act like they are something that they cannot be. They make up things when we see through their initial lies. I sit here as a true, full-blooded Native American. True, full-blooded American Indian. These individuals sit around and talk about being Moorish nationals as though they are people who were here long before anybody else was. For God's sakes, they talk about things through the Constitution as though the Constitution has been here since, I believe the last argument that I heard was 1666. You know, it's not factual. It's ridiculous. And it needs to stop. These idiots seem to feel that they have the right to proclaim that they are not under the United States, the whole country's jurisdiction. We have a really serious issue going on online where 70% of what I find just on YouTube alone, let alone other social media, is not based in real verifiable fact at all. We're looking at channel after channel of nothing but conspiracy theories that have virtually no sourced verifiable fact at all that you can research. It's just whatever I say. Creators seem to be pushed in that direction because cash is king to these people, evidently. They really don't care about the facts, because if they did, they would have to settle for a reasonable amount of ad revenue, because the subscriber count would be a lot less than what it is. I mean, what people want to see and what people tend to mosey on over to the fastest is anything that looks like reality TV to them. So when you have a channel like this channel that actually is doing nothing but providing verifiable sources and actual facts, it grows a lot slower and you have a lot less revenue to assist you. So you can see where a lot of these individuals feel that it's a good idea to just continue to make up whatever they can. I mean, really, honestly, I didn't think we would get much worse than the reptilian people. But we have. We've gone beyond that at this point. Matter of fact, I had a loyal subscriber send me a picture today that just completely flabbergasted. I mean, I couldn't believe it. And it was from the Flat Earth Society. I'm going to go ahead and read it to you in just a second here. Okay, so here we are. Here we go, folks. Take a look at this screenshot. See how asinine this is. So the next time that you actually get someone telling you what right to travel is, I'd like for you to point them towards this video. And to all you idiots that are out there, and I do mean idiots, with your sovereign citizen movement and your Moorish temple bullshit that you try to make everybody else believe with your narcissistic ignorance, read the fucking case. And you'll see what the Constitution actually means when they say right to travel. Everybody have a great evening. Bye-bye.